Welcome to the Orange Flag Podcast. Before there was Ayrton Senna and Alan Prost, there was the Lobster War. Kevin, how do you feel about the Lobster War? I'm Aries.
I'm Austin.
I'm Nicole, and me and my husband were watching a video about the lobster war between France and Brazil. So, Aries being Brazilian, that felt like a reasonable intro. We should have known.
Reasonable.
We should have known, but it really just appeared out of nowhere.
I have this,
On topic.
My magical power is this, but also because we also managed to score points in the Belgian Grand Prix again this weekend, so woohoo, go us.
In the world of sports cars, we still don't have a update for the COTA lineup from Porsche Penske Motorsport. We need to know this because we are making shirts and we need to know whether to print the Estor and matte shirts or the Estor no matte shirts. Whether matte is there is very important to us.
It's very important also to Dana because she has 3 designs that she's having to work on, and one is done.
Yeah,
PPM.
so it'd be really convenient if you guys could announce that matte will be there because that's the design that's done. And so this whole sports car segment is going to feel like drinking game, but it's not because I promise all of this is in the notes. Kevin, I'm sorry about Bald Kevin, but Bald Kevin was really good internet. Also, please never shave your head because Bald Kevin is kind of scary.
It is nightmare fuel.
So, yes. Also, sorry about Morgan making a PowerPoint about how you're a meme template. She intends to discuss this with you in detail at COTA. So, sorry about that, too.
I'm innocent in all of this.
Yes, you are totally innocent in all of this. This
I would
is
just
me
like
and
to
Morgan.
make this very clear that of the 3 of us at COTA, I am the one that is innocent.
You're not innocent in the summer break poll, though.
Well, they shouldn't be posting what they're doing on their break if they don't want me to talk about it.
So the IMSA 6 drivers have all gone on fun excursions during this little summer break that's going on. Matthew Jaminet is at Tomorrowland, which is a EDM festival.
Yes.
That's putting it so lightly. Tomorrowland is a whole vibe. But he's been there. Matt Campbell was golfing with Tom Blomqvist.
Yeah.
And Kevin Estre went hiking in a river with his family. So we did a poll about which summer break excursion our listeners, viewers, fans would most like to do. Tomorrowland with Jam won by a ton on both Twitter and Instagram. Golfing with Matt was second on both Twitter and Instagram. Actually, it did actually end up being second. It was tied with Hiking with Kevin for a while, but and then Hiking with Kevin was last because, I don't know, I guess our listeners don't enjoy hiking. Like, if Tomorrowland wasn't an option, hiking is one of my activities that I do. But, Tomorrowland is Tomorrowland, so...
I was gonna say,
yeah.
Tomorrowland, clears the other 2 options. Sorry, boys.
Yeah.
I can't golf to save my life unless it's mini golf.
Really good at Top Golf.
I'm very good at simulator golf and mini golf. Actual golf, not there. Morgan, maybe she can give us lessons.
Yes, Morgan can give us lessons. I think there's a golf course really near Petite. We can do a golf excursion.
I'm gonna ask her for some lessons. Because I've never ever set foot in a golf course. Can you eat it? Can you eat the grass?
It's not a 3-course meal. It's a golf course.
I will say, Clubhouse is at the golf course. have good food usually, but like the golf course itself,
Does not. No.
don't eat it.
It's grass.
And sand.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
some water sometimes.
Yeah, but like not water you
Trees.
should drink.
No. There
it
might
was
be alligators.
it was a poorly translated Brazilian joke. Like, it's when it's something you've never done or something you don't know here, you just say, "Oh, can you eat that? Can you insert dirty word here?" So, yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
So what I'm hearing is if Felipe Nasser watches this episode, he would
He will
understand
get
the
your
joke.
joke.
Possibly, yes.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I don't live
Felipe
close to
Nasser
it.
is a good segue into our next little bit here, because
Oh, yes.
PPM have said that there will be no team orders between cars 6 and 7 in the IMSA title fight. They specifically said even if it comes down to the last lap of the last race. So, like, okay, boys, fight it out. We're pretty clear, I think, here on which sides we take in that battle.
No, we're not clear at all. Me
Really?
and you
Not at all.
obviously support the 7, and Aries obviously supports the 6.
Look at
Right?
my tiny little 6, isn't it so
That's
cute?
not the IMSA 6.
I know, but it still is the 6, and it still has the white fin.
I'm just saying that is not
matches
the
my nails.
IMSA 6.
Ooh, I could totally get, like, pinstripes on my nails, to, like,
I thought we had
match
already
the car.
talked about.
This is a great idea. I love it. I'm gonna bring this car with me when I get my nails done before COTA and get them to put pinstripes on it.
Hi,
This is
yes, you
fantastic.
see this livery on my nails.
On my nails, please. But this got me thinking about team orders in general, because, like, McLaren Formula One have reiterated this whole papaya rules thing, which I still don't know what that means, between Lando and Oscar.
I don't even think the team quite
Yeah,
knows what papaya
Zach
rules
knows, and that's
means.
it. It's something in Zach Brown's brain.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, like, do team orders have a place in racing if both cars are still mathematically capable, or, like, more than mathematically capable, legitimately capable of winning the title? Like, where it's not a, this car needs to DNF every race till the end sort of situation. Because, like, in IndyCar, Scott Dixon is still mathematically capable of winning the title, but it requires Alex Palou to DNF.
I was gonna say, barely, in the sense we're really counting on Palou just, like, falling off.
Right, so, like, not counting, and I'm just going to use the leading cars in both example, the 6 in IMSA and Oscar Piastri in Formula One, like, should they get preferential treatment from the team when their teammates are, like, a race win behind them in pretty much both scenarios?
Yeah.
Just something that came up into my head, and I wanted to see what you guys thought about it. I didn't even really put this in the notes before a couple minutes ago, so improv.
I'll say for me, I feel like I've kind of made it clear. Like, I'm all about letting guys fight on track. Like, as long as there's, like, odds for them to be able to, like, it's not like a Palou situation where, like, no matter what, he's gonna win. Like, when you have such a close battle, like, no matter if it's my driver or not, I've always been of the mindset, like, let guys fight on track for the win.
Does that apply, like, for pit strategy, for stuff like that? Like, do you just go to whichever car is currently in the lead at the pit stop gets preferential? I mean, it doesn't really matter in IMSA because the 6 and the 7 always pit together anyways. But even tire strategy, like, you know, obviously we know what happened with Daytona with tire strategy. Like, stuff like that. Like, should the car that's leading the championship get preference on that stuff?
I don't think so. I think when it's a situation where it's like this and it's so closely tied together, I don't think one card should be getting preferential treatment just because in this moment they're the one that's
So how do you pick it then? I mean, you have like in F1,
yeah.
they can't double stack. There's one
No.
pit box.
Yeah.
So how do you pick who pits first? Because pretty much every track is an undercut track these days. So you're getting the advantage by pitting first. How do you pick which one pits first?
Like I could see in that situation being like, okay, the guy who's ahead at the moment, like go for that. I think this is also
On track or in the championship though?
I would say in my mind on track. But I could see them making the argument for in the standings. I think it's also very much we've already touched on it, like series specific, team specific, like on what you're gonna do for situations like this.
Yeah, I think that the fact that in IMSA you have essentially two full teams
Yeah,
running side by side. So like the pit crew for the 6 is different than the pit crew for the 7.
exactly.
So they can do, and they have two separate pit boxes. So they
Yes.
can pit at the same time and not run into the issue of the double stack like in F1, cuz truly I think that if McLaren had double stacked Lando and Oscar, Lando would have won the race.
Oh yeah.
Because the amount of time he lost on that lap where Oscar was able to come out on slick tires really set that gap for the race. So, I go back and forth on it. Like, that's why I wanted to have a discussion about it. Was because
Yeah.
I don't know that I have a hard and fast answer. It's
Yeah.
it's one of those, like our friend Rotary Engine Apologist says, when it's my car, it benefits me.
Yeah.
So, like, if team orders are benefiting the 6 in IMSA, then woo, go team orders. But
Yeah.
if they're benefiting the 7, it's like, oh, they're getting screwed. Why are they screwing my car?
I think like because
And
I'm
I'm the
like
one
that as well, but
celebrating.
I'm also yeah. Yes. I mean, I get that as well. I just feel like I've always been of a mindset of like let guys fight on track. Like if when it's close, let it happen. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be like, "Yay, my team's not getting the preferential like my car's not getting the preferential strategy in this moment." But like I'll understand like letting them fight on track.
And my big thing with team orders is I'm very against hold station calls.
Yes.
Like, I don't have an issue with team orders as far as, hey, we're going to pit whoever first because we need to preserve the lead in the championship or whatever. I have issues with, hey, the car behind is clearly faster, or the car behind is faster, but we're going to hold station. I have issues with both of those.
Yes.
If the car behind is faster, let him pass. Let him fight to pass.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, it's always a point of debate, and I feel like we're still gonna see that come up a lot this year. But yes, I share the same sort of stance. Let them fight it out on track. Just obviously don't hit each other, but fight it out on track. And
Yes.
regarding a situation like F1 or some other categories where you only have like one pit stall for two cars, whoever's in the lead, fine, pit first, but you know, you never know what's gonna happen. Like it's not always a given that if you pit first, your team's not gonna drop the ball on you because something might happen. You never know. So yeah, I think it's a matter of I'm a, I'm a bit of a purist, so yeah, let the talking happen on the track, not before the race, not after the race.
Definitely.
Yep.
And since we've been already talking about F1, something that caused quite a bit of controversy this weekend in Spa was someone, I forgot who it was, but someone posted a comparison between, I don't remember if it was the Spa 24 and what was going on this weekend. I think it was the section around the No Name Corner or something, or Speaker's Corner, I think. Up on where, on higher ground, where you can literally see well beyond into what's happening on the track. Like the F1 there was literally a wall placed there, essentially blocking anyone's view of the place. Like, and obviously you can't float above it to see. So while in every single other championship there is in Spa, that place is completely open and you can see everything. And yeah, I it's one of those situations where I'm just like, F1, what?
It's because F1 prides itself on exclusivity, and if they let the general admission or grounds pass tickets have fantastic views, people won't spend. I think it's like almost €500 for a covered Eau Rouge grandstand ticket
Yeah.
for the whole weekend. I think when I was looking at it, which that's still nothing compared to COTA. Turn 1 at COTA, which has probably one of the, like, if you want to say kind of similar views, you can see to your left and to your right a pretty decent distance. Like if you're sitting in those Eau Rouge gold seats, they're almost twice that. So, like, to me, that's still a good deal, but I know to a lot of people, they're like, that's an outrageous price, 400, €500. So if they let people that can get a €100 grounds pass have a fantastic free view on a hillside, then nobody's going to pay €500 for the Eau Rouge Gold seats.
Yes. It's all about their precious money and making sure they get it.
And I mean, yes and no. It's also about making F1 exclusive, because
Yeah.
that's the thing. They don't want it to be, and it's not even about money. I think that F1, the difference between €100 and €500 to them is not going to be noticeable. The thing is, if they could say, yes, you meet our criteria to come to a race, no, you don't meet our criteria, they use pricing to do that on their own.
Yes.
Whereas every other series, you go watch any sports car series at Spa, and it's going to be pennies compared to Formula One.
Yeah. I guess for me, the precious money thing is like we're figuring out your class almost sort of thing of like, we want these types of people at our races. So if you'll spend your precious money for this amount, we're going to get this audience from it.
Definitely the vibe that you get from F1, who F1 invites to races. They had names on the T-cams this weekend, which was silly because you can't freaking see them.
You can't see them. The colors, even like doing the different colors on it, like
that's very visible. I will say, from my seats at COTA, the different colors are very visible.
It's visible.
I have no issue with that, and
but
it's not that hard to learn. Like, I get it. If you're going to the first race of the season and there's 12 new drivers in the field, yeah, it might be, or a bunch of people have switched teams, it might be confusing. It is not, by this point in the season, it is not that hard to know who has the yellow T-cam and who has the black one.
That's what I'm saying, is like the different colors. It's like, I feel like that was enough. We have different colors. We have different numbers, which, like, yeah, you can't really always see at speed.
Numbers.
But, like, the numbers are bigger than the name. Yeah, the numbers are bigger than the names, though. So if we can't see the numbers, how do you expect us to see the names?
Precisely.
I still, honestly, use my knowledge of what people's helmets look like to identify the cars from my seats at COTA. My thought process was, take the halo, or take the T-cam colors and paint the halos those color. So you've got one car with a black halo and one car with a fluorescent yellow halo. Those are outside of, like, if you paint the outside of it, that's outside of the driver's vision. It's going to be the outside of the halo. So it's not like the one with the bright yellow one's going to be distracted by the color, because it's not going to be in their field of vision. So just do that. Like, if you really want to distinguish one car from another, do that. Don't put names on the T-cams that nobody can see.
Yeah. It felt stupid. Like, there was no reason for it. It wasn't going to benefit anyone in any way, because there's no way you're going to be able to see that.
Yep. It brings me back to, I think it was 2017 when they kind of introduced this visibility. I think that's what they call it, visibility guidelines or something. Like, they literally mandated every team to increase the number on their car so people could identify which driver it was. And like, if you used a font that wasn't that distinctive, like, they told you, like, you need to make this so people can clearly distinguish this car from the next. One thing I really liked was, I think it was Mercedes. Like, they had literally the same livery in each car, but in the like in the back of the car, the driver number was, obviously it was big, but also it was in a different color. So you knew at a glance if it was Hamilton or if it was Bottas. And I was thinking maybe more teams should do something along those lines. Like, obviously, I don't know if the FIA being the FIA or Formula One being Formula One, they would allow big, a big difference between the two cars in the same team.
This is a perfect example.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes.
PPM.
Yeah.
And also,
like,
I was gonna
you
say,
can very clearly tell these two cars apart by the color differences. Like,
yes.
You see the white fin, you know what car it is. You see the black fin, you know what car it is. Again, using podcast props, watch YouTube.
Actually,
I just happen to have easily accessible PPM props.
I was gonna go back in time a bit, and I was gonna mention the Target Chip Ganassi years. Like, you had the
red car,
the two cars with the same essentially it was the same livery, like red, mostly red with some white accents, but you had it was always Scott Dixon's car, the number 9, with the white end plate, and the number 10 was always the full red one. So at a glance, you could be like, oh yeah, that's Dixon. Oh, that's Franchitti. That's Kanan. That's whoever drove the red car. Well, Dan Weldon also. So something simple.
Dana's gonna get so mad right now.
I wanted to say his name first, and my mind got all mucky.
No, she's so mad that Scott has stolen all of her favorite Andretti drivers to be Ganassi drivers.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I guess not Brian Herta, so not her most favorite.
Not Brian.
He did drive for CGR at one point, though.
He
did, but not with Scott.
Yeah. I was like, hypothetically, in the, like, this context, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something simple. We're not asking for two completely different liveries, just a bit of an accent.
So, the Lewis conversation.
You mean the Ferrari career killer conversation?
Yes,
I mean, that is what it is.
It is.
Hurts to say that as a Ferrari guy.
Hurts to say that as a Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel fan. Is Lewis Hamilton following in their footsteps? Is he part of this getting your career killed, tarnishing your legacy by wanting so badly to drive for Ferrari?
Yes.
He's not been looking good this year. And I get it, it's his first year in a new car. But he's not been looking good. He got driver of the day on Sunday and made all these passes. His teammate was on the podium. Of course he should have been making all those passes. He was in the second fastest car out there. He should have been making all those passes. When you start damn near last, you should be able to get up into the top 10. Like, we need to stop applauding people for driving a fast car from the back of the field. It's
Correct.
not that impressive. Like, it's not that impressive when Verstappen does it, it's not that impressive when Norris does it, and it's not that impressive when Hamilton does it. And I think that he is probably already thinking, I'll give next year's regulations a shot, but if it's like this, I'm done. Because he doesn't want to have the issue that Vettel and Alonso had, where it's like, well, they just can't win a championship. And to me, if he never wins a race with Ferrari, it kind of proves his critics right, who have been saying the whole time that he can't drive an imperfect car. He's great in a perfect car. The best in the world in a perfect car. But it's one of the reasons that I think that Schumacher still clears him, is that Schumacher drove imperfect cars to world championships. Hamilton drove perfect cars to world championships.
It's really, he's proving all the haters wrong right now. Like, it's hard to say otherwise.
No, the only thing I was gonna say is we almost had Alonso drive a very imperfect car to a world title in 2012, but I think that's about it.
Yes. I mean, he came incredibly close, you know? But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, maybe Lewis will prove us all wrong next year, but this year he certainly hasn't been doing it. Charles has been handily outperforming him, which
Yeah.
isn't what I expected coming into the year. I expected that Lewis was going to come in and crush all of Charles' hopes and dreams, and that absolutely has not happened.
I expected that, or for them to at least be close to each other. And they're not even close to each other.
Yeah. And then one thing, like, during all the stupid rain delays at Spa that my dad and I were talking about was, like, a different way of doing safety car restarts. When they can't do a standing start, why not do a rolling restart with columns of two? Like, the way that IndyCar starts races, or the way NASCAR does restarts. Just
Yeah.
for safety car, and just when they cannot do a standing start. Don't change the whole way Formula One runs, but it really disadvantages everybody, I feel like, to have the restarts go the way they are. And then you also have the issues with, like, it would have completely eliminated the issue that happened at Silverstone with Piastri brake checking Norris and Verstappen. Like, because you know where you have to be. You know you have to be in your columns of two. And I'd say just make it be in normal grid order. Whichever side is the pole side, the leader goes there. Don't have a choose like they do in NASCAR.
So don't have a choose code where sometimes the drivers can't see the choose code, so then they bring out an actual code and throw it at the track.
Yes. But, like, I think if it was just a column of two rolling restart, it would add so much excitement. And I'm sure there's some safety reason why F1 would never do it. Because if they could do that, they could do a standing start. I'm sure that's the argument that would be given, but I don't buy that. So, yeah. I think it'd be fun.
It could be fun. I also am just a fan of the way NASCAR does its restarts. I think it's exciting.
What I was gonna say is, like, so basically when F1 cannot do a standing start, they just do a WEC, have each side just go over the little grid markings and start.
Yeah, and then we can't talk about this weekend without talking about Nico Rosberg. His chaos on the broadcast was incredible.
Iconic.
Asking Bottas about a caddy contract and not letting him, like, pretend not to hear him, not letting him not answer, just hounding him. Calling out Jos Verstappen for not wanting to comment about Horner. He was literally like, oh, now you have nothing to say? Like, sassy Nico Rosberg gives me life.
It was so good.
And then during the red flag, just the Brosades lore that he was dropping.
Let me just pull up this photo.
Right. The stuff about him and Lewis when they were kids and when they were teammates is just like, that's not something that we hear a lot, so it's great to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for once, I did not have that broadcast on my broadcast, so I just had to suffer through the red flag.
I will find the TikTok videos that I've been seeing everywhere,
Yes.
and I'll send them to you.
Good. I've seen some stuff on Twitter, but not all of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great.
Well, I guess going in line with Nico Rosberg's chaos to Will Buxton's chaos
Yeah.
in IndyCar.
Thank you, Kiffin Simpson.
Yes, thank you, Kiffin Simpson. So they had all three of the guys and Kiffin drive the track. And Will Buxton's first time experiencing corkscrew was amazing. Because
So
he's like
good.
in the middle of a question to Kiffin and then just starts like cursing basically. Just
Yes. Full on string of curse words.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was so good. And then
Indeed.
I saw the video again, like a clip of just that section of it online, and then somebody in the comments said, please get Will Buxton to Bathurst right now to do a lap, just to experience Bathurst. And I went, oh my god, yes. So
Like,
I
not
need
having
that.
driven either of them in real life, but having driven both of them on my sim, Bathurst is so much scarier. Like, because the whole thing is just like that, and you've got walls right here. Like,
Yeah.
you're doing drops like that with a cliff beside you, like, going up. And then sometimes there's a cliff over there.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
I
terrifying.
decided we need a little field trip of Scotty Mack and Will Buxton go to Bathurst.
Yes. Please. Make that happen, Fox. We
Yes.
need this.
It was my first thought when I saw that comment was like, this is the situation I need, and I need it now.
Yeah. And then, speaking of the corkscrew, everyone just needs to understand that Zanardi's pass was legal then, and stop trying to apply modern rules to 1996. Just stop. You
Yeah.
look dumb, and you really invalidate any future points that you make in the discussion. Your inability to apply 1996 rules to a pass that happened in 1996 means that I don't really actually give you any credibility with anything else that you say in that argument.
And I get like they were talking about it briefly, like on the broadcast, but it wasn't to the extreme levels I felt like I saw on social media.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it feels like when we get like those old sort of, I don't know, 1990 something, early 2000 something, whole lap onboard video, whether it's IndyCar, whether it's F1 or whatever, and someone is like way outside of track limits and people are like, oh my god, track limits, and I'm like, different era. Just realize that.
yeah. And then one thing that I still can't believe that this happened is leaving a car in a vulnerable position so that I guess strategy can play out in a race. Part of race strategy is sometimes a yellow flag happens when you don't want it to. Especially with Marcus Ericsson. Leaving him at the top of a blind corner sideways across the track. Like, not only was it a corner, but it's up a hill. No one could see him, and he even said, in his post about the race, that it was a scary however many minutes hoping he wasn't gonna get hit. And now a lot of teams use spotters at this track, so hopefully it was communicated to every driver, stay left. There is a car on track, stalled on track, right, stay left. But all it takes is a little cut in the radio, and you hear stay and right and garble, and you think they say stay right, and suddenly that's, a big crash. There is no reason for the inconsistency of the way that they're doing yellow flags. And honestly, maybe they just need to change the rules, and when it goes to a full course yellow, leave the pits open. If it's
Something.
not on an oval.
No.
Don't do that on an oval. But on these longer road courses, on street courses, if it's not at pit in, pit out, leave the pits open. If that's the concern, is letting pit strategy play out, then leave the pits open. But I'd actually prefer they leave it the way it is, but just throw the yellow when it should be thrown.
Yes. It was even just like in this race alone, we had inconsistencies. Like
Yeah.
Santino's crash, like it was a yellow basically right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, it took forever for a yellow.
Like almost 4 minutes.
Yeah, like the fact even just in one race alone, like we have so many inconsistencies. Work on that.
Not really surprising though, but yeah, something needs to change there. I don't know what. I hate this sort of question, but I wonder what needs to happen for there to be a change in attitude.
NASCAR announced their new street race that's replacing Chicago and California, which will be on a Navy base. And to announce that, we got a whole video of the select drivers, basically participating in the Navy for a little bit. It was a great video. Apparently, a lot of it was improv by the guys that were in the video, just like joking around with each other the entire time. There's been like a running joke of William Byron and Sabrina Carpenter being a thing that was included in the video. They're talking about like strategy of how to beat the Navy and needing SVG. And then the Stenhouse jokes between Carson because of what's going on track between the two. It was just a lot of like jokes that if you've been watching the season and also been active online, like you would really get this video, and it was really nice to see.
Massive fan service.
Yes.
Like you don't see series do that all that often, doing inside jokes that you need to be deep within the fan culture of the series to understand. Like the average person that watched, like if I had my dad watch this, he'd be like, oh cool, it was like kind of a Top Gun parody, right? Like, which it was. But someone who is deep into NASCAR fandom gets a completely different experience. I think they both walk away saying, that's an awesome ad. I am pumped up about this Navy base race. But I think that, you get two different experiences based on how involved in fan culture from NASCAR. I do love when series do and when teams do fan service.
Yeah. I will say the Stenhouse joke did get cut, but NASCAR posted a whole blooper reel for this video, and it's in the blooper reel. If you haven't seen the blooper reel, watch it, because I feel like some of it is even better than the ad. But it was so good to just see these guys joking around with each other. It was great. They did all get call signs for the video. NASCAR, I am expecting for the actual race that we do put call signs on the car, which I will say for this weekend, the 24 team, so William Byron, they covered his name in tape before the actual like on-track stuff and put flame on it. So they kind of did that. So good for you, 24 team. It was nice to see that. I will say, NASCAR, please stop trying to make me a Joey Logano fan by constantly bringing up that he's driven a Zamboni, because that was his call sign and I keep feeling targeted. And then to kind of tie back to, all the comparisons it's been getting to, iconic movies. They did go to the iBar afterwards. They did break the rules of no hats and no phones at the bar to buy rounds for everybody, of drinks. So you're getting more of the online content if you're watching the kind of behind the scenes stuff of the ad as well, which is pretty cool.
And then you had a really good weekend, I'd say, for your drivers in Indianapolis, right?
Yes, I would say I had a pretty good weekend, which was nice. Corey Day did Truck Series for this weekend. He started 16th, finished second, did like an insane drive. You know it's good when other drivers in like Xfinity and everything are talking about it. So just shout out to Corey Day for his really good progression so far this year. Junior Motorsports did get their 100th win in the Xfinity series. It's important to say that they're making sure they're making that distinction because they compete in other series as well, currently and in the past. They got their 100th win, but also with getting the 100th win with Connor Zilisch now has 3 wins in a row. He's the youngest driver to get those 3 straight race wins, and he's the youngest to get 6 series victories in Xfinity as well. Insane, and I'm expecting he's going to keep breaking records more and more this series. Another thing is they got Dale Jr. another giant flag for the 100th race, series win. This man loves big flags. And
at least he wasn't
great.
running around for like a half hour with this one like he was when Justin won the title last year, because he was running around with that flag for like 30 minutes after the race.
Yes, he then brought the flag to like every press conference afterwards and everything. So he didn't quite do that with this big flag.
He was a little more subdued with this flag.
Yes, yes. But he still really loves his big flags.
Can't blame him.
The fact that he immediately thanked Hendrick for their engine production, and Hendrick and them have been doing this like congratulations thing back and forth today.
Yes.
I thought that was really cool. Obviously good connection there between the teams. No, people, Connor will not go drive for Hendrick, despite the connection. He is a signed Trackhouse driver.
Yes.
I just want to throw that out there because everybody seems to be confused about that on the internet.
Yeah, I also want to make it even more obvious. He's a Trackhouse development driver who uses a Trackhouse pit crew in Xfinity and drives for Trackhouse in the Cup Series sometimes. So I don't think he's going over to Hendrick.
He's on loan to Junior Motorsports from Trackhouse. Like, he doesn't have a separate, like, independent of Trackhouse Junior Motorsports. He is on loan to them from Trackhouse. He is going to be with Trackhouse, period.
Also, like, Junior Motorsports kind of has a connection with Trackhouse as well now. If you've noticed, the Trackhouse guys have been running the 9 as well. Just saying.
Yeah.
And then I think if you've watched NASCAR this weekend or saw anything about NASCAR online, it was kind of hard to not hear about the fact Cookie Monster was at the race as the Grand Marshal. But in case you missed it, Cookie Monster was in fact there as the Grand Marshal. It was the best thing to happen. I want Cookie Monster at every race now. But you had drivers' kids meeting Cookie Monster, which was adorable.
You had drivers meeting Cookie Monster, which was also hilarious.
It was hilarious. Cookie Monster gave an entire press conference in which he did eat the checkered flag. They did ask him to pick one of the ties, Ty Gibbs, or Ty Dillon. He said it would be a tie, but then during the driver intros, Cookie Monster was on stage. Ty Dillon did come and basically bribe him with cookies, so
Everybody just played into the Cookie Monster thing so well.
yes.
Like the series did, the drivers did. It was awesome. And that's the sort of fun that I think NASCAR needs. Like NASCAR is always a little unserious, but sometimes it's unserious in a not good way, right? Like this is a good sort of unserious that I think makes people potentially want to pay a little more attention to NASCAR.
Yeah.
That's a way to draw fan engagement, I guess.
Yes.
Something
Yes,
whimsical,
definitely.
something different, not your rigid, set in stone stuff that some other series is out there seem to love doing.
It's a Rexy and Spike playbook, honestly. Do things that appeal to kids, and if kids want to watch something, their parents are forced to.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
I will say a lot of the Cookie Monster content had been with Bubba Wallace, who did win the race. So we got even more Cookie Monster Bubba Wallace content too, which was funny. So lots of Cookie Monster content. It was great.
Well, given how we've been talking about NASCAR, we figured we would bring up something that was a bit of a talking point on our 750 group chats, but not that much. But still, it was something interesting regarding playoff systems, or can we call what the chase used to be a sort of playoff system, maybe? But drivers, to no surprise, obviously, they will favor the playoff format that will suit them the best. So, yeah, if something plays, it's that's a bit obvious now that I'm speaking those words. If something fits your nature, you're going to vouch for it, right?
Yeah.
The big differences are you a consistent driver over the season, or can you really lock in and peak at the right time? Joey Logano is probably one of the best examples. If there was full season standings, he would have 0 championships. And it wouldn't even be close. It wouldn't be he almost got, nope. He'd be, because he's not a consistent driver, but he somehow is able to, in even number years, lock in for the playoffs. So
he comes in clutch. When it's an even number. When it's an odd number, he does not. My big one that I think of is Chase Elliott. Mainly because he used to be a guy where he was kind of at the peak. Right now, he's in a consistency over a season. He is at the point now where this season has kind of had good consistency, where if it was this year to be based off that, he'd be killing it. But when he got his championships, he was more along the lines of that peaking at the right moment point. So he's a guy I think of where if you had asked him back then which one he preferred, he would have said the way it is now. But if you're asking him now which one he would prefer, he would say the old system.
Yeah. And I mean, historically, it would change so much. I still personally believe that Jeff Gordon is the GOAT of NASCAR. And this is one of the reasons. If it was full season standings, he would have 7 titles. Jimmy Johnson would only have 3. So to me, I mean, yes, do I like crazy exciting drivers? Yeah, but when you're looking at a championship, you really should be looking about which driver performed over the whole season. And that is why I believe what I do about Jeff Gordon. And another wild example is if it was full season standings, Kevin Harvick would have 4 championships. That is crazy. Like, because I feel like just because of the consistency, he did just fly under the radar, right? Like, no one puts him in that discussion. Like, yes, great driver. I think everybody puts him in that discussion, but
Yes.
nobody puts him in, like, the Jeff and Jimmy conversation. And this statistics show that, you know, I guess I should probably, like, shout out the page that I stole all of these from on Twitter. Hold on while I find it. Winston Cup. So it is NASCAR Winston Cup Series standings. It's at NWCS_standings on Twitter. And they do all of these. They keep a running tally for the year of what it would be if it was full season standings. And then they also have they keep an updated list of Winston Cup scoring champions over the seasons. So it's a cool page. Check it out.
We'll say for me, it's also an argument where we do get a regular season like champion as well.
That doesn't matter.
But it doesn't like
nobody
get the same...
cares about the regular season champion.
But it's one where like that is the guy that's the consistency guy.
Right.
So like if you're wanting to look at the consistency side of things, that would be the championship to look at. But nobody's looking at that because it kind of gets glossed over by the actual championship.
Someone who has a bit of an inclination to keep on dragging on and on about alternate timelines. Yes, I'm pretty sure somewhere in a parallel universe, we're all praising Jeff Gordon 7 times.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm just gonna, I know this isn't about, I'm about to take it somewhere, I'm about to take it down under. I feel like in Supercars, we're about to start to have this conversation because starting this year, they are also adopting, I think it's I'm not sure what kind of system it is because I keep on forgetting, but it's also a playoff system. And given how crazy the season has been with plenty of different winners, I feel like something's about to be lost there. Sad.
Yep.
And then just tiny shout out, Formula E, Porsche won the manufacturers championship. There are 3 teams using Porsche powered cars, and then the Porsche Works Formula E team also won the championship. So got a lot of Porsche fans that listen. Sometimes maybe some Porsche drivers that listen. So good job, Porsche.
Yay, purple car. I need to see a purple 963. Just putting it out there.
Yes.
Give me a purple 963, please. Just saying.
I'm just saying.
Started and ended with direct appeals to PPM.
Yeah. Next year's 4. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Instead of red fin, purple fin.
Brilliant. Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at Orange Flag Pod. On Twitter, Nicole is at Nicole on Racing, Austin is at Henry Claren, and Aries is at Aries_Alpenglow. Stay orange.